The Warriors get better every game. The Warriors are on fire, 5 straight wins, and they just pulled off another one against the Magic. The biggest headline? Steph Curry, 56 points, 12 three-pointers, and one of the most ridiculous shooting performances of the season. He shot 16 for 25 from the field, 12 for 19 from deep, and his true shooting percentage was 93. That is unheard of. This is what he does, and he keeps proving why he is one of the greatest shooters to ever step on a court. This was his 9th career game with at least 50 points and 10 threes. No other player in NBA history has done that more than 3 times. That is dominance on another level. He has been doing this for over a decade, and somehow it never gets old. Exactly 12 years ago today, he dropped over 50 against the Knicks. 9 years ago today, he buried 12 threes against the Thunder. And now, another game with 50-plus points and 12 deep bombs. It is like clockwork. Give him the ball, and he will light up the scoreboard. The Magic had no answer for him. It did not matter who they put on him. He was drilling shots from everywhere. Step backs, quick releases, contested jumpers. It did not make a difference. He was locked in, and when he gets in that mode, there is nothing a defense can do. At this point, teams just have to pray he misses. But tonight, he was not missing much. Curry is the engine, but the Warriors needed others to step up, and they got exactly that. Quitting post played a big role, putting up 18 points, 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block. He provided that extra scoring boost, attacking the rim and knocking down shots when they needed it. He was aggressive, played hard on both ends, and made sure the Warriors had a reliable second option behind Curry's explosion. Draymond Green was doing everything. He finished with 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. These kinds of performances are exactly what the Warriors need from him. He does not have to put up huge scoring numbers, but when he is controlling the glass, moving the ball, and locking in on defense, they are just a different team. He was everywhere, making the right reads, hustling for boards, and bringing that energy they thrive off of. Pods chipped in as well, putting up 8 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks. That is an all-around game. He has a knack for making winning plays, whether it is finding the open man, crashing the glass, or protecting the rim. He does the little things that help this team keep rolling. His court vision stood out in this one, racking up 7 assists and keeping the ball moving. When the Warriors are unselfish and sharing the rock, they are at their best. Jimmy Butler had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks. The scoring was not there for him, but he did everything else. He is still getting used to this system, but his presence has already changed the way the Warriors play. Since he arrived, they are 7-1. That says everything. His impact goes beyond the box score. His defense, playmaking, and toughness give the Warriors a different edge. And even when he is not scoring, he is making a difference. Gary Payton brought his usual intensity, finishing with 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. His defense was on full display, pressuring ball handlers and creating havoc. The Warriors thrive when they have guys like him flying around, making hustle plays, and setting the tone on defense. He is one of those players who might not always get the credit, but his contributions are huge. Moses Moody came in and put up 10 points, a rebound, and a block. His minutes off the bench were important, giving the team an extra scoring punch and keeping the energy up when the starters rested. Every time he got a look, he made the most of it. That is what makes this team so dangerous. It is not just about the stars. It is about the entire rotation stepping up. This game did not start smooth. The Warriors had to battle through some adversity, but they handled the pressure, stayed composed, and closed strong. That is what separates a good team from a great one. Winning when things are easy is one thing, but finding ways to get it done when the game is tough is what really matters. That is what they did tonight. The Magic pushed them, but they responded. And this is not just about one game. This team is clicking right now. 5 straight wins, and they are playing with confidence. They are finding their rhythm at the perfect time. The chemistry is there, the effort is there, and they are proving that they can handle tough games and come out on top. That is the type of momentum they need to carry into the rest of the season. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, the Warriors. One of the biggest takeaways from this stretch, they are learning how to win in different ways. Some nights, it is all about Curry's brilliance. Other nights, it is about their defense stepping up. Sometimes, it is about their depth coming through. They are showing they can adjust and find ways to win no matter the situation. That is what makes a team dangerous in the long run. And the Jimmy Butler effect is real. The Warriors have been different since he got here. 7-1 in the Butler era, and it is not just a coincidence. He brings a level of toughness and experience that is rubbing off on the whole team. Even on a night where he was not scoring much, his presence was felt. That is what championship-level players do. They make an impact, even when their shot is not falling. Draymond's leadership is another key part of this run. He is setting the tone on both ends, getting everyone involved and making sure the intensity stays high. His ability to anchor the defense and facilitate on offense is something that makes this team special. When he is locked in, the Warriors just play differently. His energy is contagious. Then there is the depth. Guys like Post, Pods, Moody, and Payton are making sure the Warriors do not fall off when the starters sit. That is huge. Depth wins games, especially in a long season, and this bench is proving it can be trusted in big moments. This 5-game win streak is one of the most satisfying stretches of the season. They are showing resilience, closing out games, and finding their identity at the right time. They have proven they can handle pressure, come back from behind, and keep their foot on the gas when they need to. Now, they just have to keep this going. The confidence is there, the chemistry is there, and they are starting to look like a team that is ready to make noise. The challenge is consistency. They have to keep playing at this level and not get complacent. But right now, they are rolling. And with Curry playing the way he is, they always have a chance. 56 points, 12 threes, a historic night. Add in solid contributions from the entire squad, and the Warriors are looking like a team that is ready to keep stacking wins. There is no denying it. This was one of the most fun wins of the season. They had to work for it, but they got it done. 5 straight wins, and they are not slowing down anytime soon. And the thing about this Warriors streak, they've played phenomenally in almost every game since the Butler trade. Like how about 2 games ago versus Charlotte? The Warriors absolutely dominated this game. Steph Curry and Draymond Green both finished with 15 points, and Golden State cruised past the Hornets in a massive blowout. They didn't just win, they made history. This victory marked the franchise's 3,000th win, putting them in an elite group alongside only 4 other teams. The Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, and Philadelphia 76ers are the only franchises that have ever reached that mark. That's how big this game was. This wasn't just any win though. The Warriors made a statement. After all the struggles earlier in the season, they fought their way back into the 8th spot in the Western Conference. This team looks completely different now. Ever since Jimmy Butler arrived, the energy has been on another level. His presence alone has changed everything, and the results speak for themselves. Golden State didn't just outplay Charlotte, they completely controlled the game from start to finish. Buddy Hield came off the bench and led the team in scoring with 16 points. He added 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. His efficiency was solid, and he made the most of his minutes. Kevin Knox had a strong game as well, finishing with 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He even had 2 blocks. The guy is maximizing his opportunity every time he gets on the court. Gary Payton played well, putting up 14 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. He brought his usual energy and defensive presence, making sure Charlotte never got comfortable. Moses Moody chipped in with 13 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Brandon Podds had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Every single guy contributed to this win. Curry didn't have his best shooting night, hitting just 6 of 14 shots, and only 2 of 9 from deep, but it didn't even matter. The Warriors were so dominant that he only had to play 24 minutes. He still finished with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. His plus minus was absolutely ridiculous at plus 26. That just shows how much of an impact he had, even in limited time. Draymond Green was all over the place, doing what he does best. He scored 15 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, dished out 6 assists, swiped 3 steals, and blocked 2 shots. His plus minus was plus 14. He's been locked in on both ends, setting the tone for the team. Jimmy Butler didn't have to do much offensively in this one, finishing with 6 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. His plus minus was plus 17. He barely even played, logging just 19 minutes. But his impact was clear. Ever since he arrived, the Warriors have looked completely different. He's brought toughness, leadership, and a winning mentality. They're playing like a legitimate playoff team now. Golden State absolutely exploded in the third quarter, dropping 41 points. That was the 11th time this season they've had a 40-point quarter. They completely ran Charlotte off the floor, and by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it was already over. The starters got to rest the entire fourth quarter for the 3rd or 4th straight game. That's a massive advantage for a team trying to stay fresh down the stretch of the season. Kevin Knox got some extra minutes in garbage time, and he made the most of them. He played 5 minutes and continued to show why he's been improving. He's come a long way since his time in the G League. His energy and effort have been huge for the team. He's earned every second of playing time he gets. Charlotte just didn't have an answer for anything Golden State did. KJ Simpson and Seth Curry were their 2 bright spots, with Simpson scoring 16 points and grabbing 6 rebounds, while Curry added 14 points. They were missing LaMelo Ball, and without him, they just couldn't keep up. The Hornets have now lost 4 straight in 13 of their last 15 games. They're struggling badly, and this game was just another example of how tough things have been for them. The Warriors weren't just winning, they were having fun out there. They held a halftime ceremony celebrating the 10th anniversary of their 2014 to 2015 championship team. It was a perfect night for the franchise. They reached a major milestone, honored their past, and dominated on the court. This was a complete team victory. Everybody contributed, and the Warriors controlled every aspect of the game. The mid-season struggles now feel like a distant memory. They flipped the switch and are playing their best basketball at the right time. They're peaking at the right time, and the chemistry is coming together perfectly. Jimmy Butler's impact can't be overlooked. His scoring wasn't needed in this game, but his presence alone is changing everything. He's bringing out the best in everyone. The entire team looks more locked in. The intensity has gone up. The effort is there every night, and they're playing with real confidence. His plus 17 plus minus says it all. He barely played, but the team was completely in control whenever he was on the floor. Draymond Green has been a massive factor as well. His stat line tells the whole story. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That's the kind of all-around impact that makes him so important to this team. When he's engaged like this, Golden State is a completely different squad. Curry resting for full fourth quarters is a luxury. He's getting extra recovery time while the team keeps winning. That's exactly what they need heading into the final stretch of the season. They're stacking wins and staying fresh at the same time. That's the best possible scenario for them right now. The bench was fantastic in this one. Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, and Brandon Podds all stepped up. They kept the momentum going whenever they checked in, and they made sure there was no drop-off in production. That kind of depth is what makes this team so dangerous. They've got contributions coming from everywhere. Charlotte just didn't have enough firepower. KJ Simpson and Seth Curry tried to keep them in it, but it wasn't even close. The Hornets are struggling, and this game was another example of why. They've lost 13 of their last 15 games, and they never really had a chance in this one. Golden State keeps proving that they're back on track. They're playing with confidence, they're winning in dominant fashion, and they're moving up in the standings. This was another statement win, and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. But then we can do the same for the game before that against Dallas. Steph Curry dropped 30 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, dished out 7 assists, and swiped 1 steal in yet another dominant performance. Golden State absolutely handled Dallas in this one, winning 126-102 and making it look easy. They didn't just win, they controlled every single part of this game from the opening tip to the final buzzer. This team has completely turned things around. They've won 5 of their last 6 games and improved to 5-1 since trading for Jimmy Butler. That trade might be one of the most underrated moves of the entire season. Earlier in the year, Golden State looked completely lost, but ever since Butler arrived, they've played with new energy, confidence, and intensity. Now, they're back to looking like the team that dominated early in the season. The difference is obvious. Curry set the tone in this one. He led all scorers with 30 points, and he did it in style. He also added 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. His ability to control the pace of the game was on full display, and the Mavericks had no answer for him. When he's locked in like this, Golden State is nearly impossible to stop. Brandon Podds was everywhere in this game. He put up 17 points, grabbed a career-high 13 rebounds, dished out 2 assists, swiped 1 steal, and blocked 1 shot. His plus-minus was a ridiculous plus 30. That just shows how dominant the Warriors were when he was on the floor. He crashed the glass, played strong defense, and made winning plays all night long. Jimmy Butler made his home debut, and he wasted no time making an impact. He finished with 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. He's been exactly what this team needed. His ability to get to the free throw line has added a completely new dimension to Golden State's offense. He went a perfect 8 for 8 from the stripe in this one, and in just 6 games with the Warriors, he's already attempted 55 free throws. That's the kind of aggressive play this team was missing earlier in the season. Draymond Green continues to be the heartbeat of this squad. He put up 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. He's doing all the little things that don't always show up in the box score, but his impact is undeniable. Whether it's setting the right screens, making the right pass, or playing elite defense, he's bringing it every night. Moses Moody was rock solid in this one. He finished with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. He's been a key piece off the bench, providing scoring and defensive versatility. His ability to knock down shots and make hustle plays keeps him in the rotation. Quentin Post stepped up and made his minutes count. He finished with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. He battled on the glass and gave the Warriors some much-needed size inside. Gui Santos didn't play much, but he still made his presence felt. He had 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. Every single player that stepped on the floor contributed to this win. Golden State came out aggressive and put this game away early. They jumped out to a double-digit lead in the first quarter and stretched it to 23 in the second. Curry and Butler were both locked in from the start, each scoring 14 points in the first half. Dallas never had a chance to recover. The Warriors were in complete control. The Mavericks got some decent production from PJ Washington and Kyrie Irving, who both finished with 17 points, but they just couldn't match Golden State's energy. The Warriors dominated every aspect of the game. They outscored Dallas 20-13 from the free throw line, and Butler's presence was a huge factor in that. He's completely changed how this team operates on offense. He's forcing defenders to foul, getting easy points at the line, and keeping the pressure on all game long. Golden State won 2 straight games by more than 20 points. That's not just winning, that's dominance. This team found its rhythm, and they're proving that they're a real problem in the Western Conference. They're clicking at the perfect time. The win wasn't the only big moment of the night. The Warriors retired Iggy's jersey after the game. He was a massive part of this franchise's success, helping them win 4 championships and earning NBA Finals MVP honors in 2015. His impact on the Warriors dynasty was legendary, and now his jersey is officially hanging in the rafters. Golden State looks completely different now than they did earlier in the season. They found their identity again, and they're playing some of their best basketball right when it matters most. Butler has been a game changer. Pods continues to step up, and the entire team is locked in. And right before that, they had another crazy one against Sacramento too. The Warriors were on fire. They ran through the Kings in dominant fashion, winning 132-106, and it wasn't even close. Moses Moody and Buddy Hield both exploded for 22 points, while Brandon Pods, Steph Curry, and Jimmy Butler all chipped in big performances to keep Golden State rolling. At the time, they had won 4 of 5 games since trading for Butler, and this put them 2 games over 500 for the first time since December. The difference in their play was undeniable. They were moving the ball better, defending with more intensity, and playing with a confidence that was missing earlier in the season. This was a team that looked completely lost just a few months before, but now they were back to looking like a legitimate playoff squad. Moody was on fire in this game. He dropped 22 points, grabbed 2 rebounds, dished out 4 assists, and blocked 1 shot. His energy was nonstop, and he made sure the Warriors had a scoring spark from start to finish. He had been stepping up in a major way, and this game was another example of that. Hield matched him with 22 points of his own. He also added 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. His ability to space the floor was exactly what Golden State needed. He had been knocking down shots at a high rate, forcing Sacramento's defense to stay honest and creating opportunities for the rest of the team. Pods played another fantastic game. He finished with 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. He had been proving that he belonged in the rotation, making smart plays and knocking down shots when it mattered most. His confidence had been growing with every game, and this performance was just another sign that he was becoming a major factor for this team. Curry had a smooth 20 points in this one. He also added 1 rebound, 6 assists, and 2 steals. He controlled the pace of the game and made sure the Warriors' offense was running at full speed. At this point, he didn't even need to take over games by himself because the supporting cast had been stepping up. That was a great sign for Golden State moving forward. Butler did exactly what he had been doing since arriving, filling up the stat sheet and making everybody around him better. He put up 17 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. He had been fitting in perfectly with this system. It was like he had been a warrior for years. His IQ, toughness, and ability to control the game had completely changed the dynamic of the team. Just having him on the floor made everybody else play better. Draymond Green didn't need to score much, but he still made a huge impact. He had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 blocks. He had been doing all the little things that helped the Warriors win, whether it was setting the right screens, making the extra pass, or playing elite defense. He was making his presence felt every single night. Quentin Post gave Golden State solid minutes as well. He finished with 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. He had been providing valuable depth inside, helping the Warriors battle on the glass and protect the rim. Having a big man who could step in and contribute was a major boost for this team. Golden State had come into this game looking to make a statement, and they wasted no time doing it. They dominated the second quarter and jumped out to a 20-point lead. They were lights out from deep in the first half, knocking down 11 of 23 threes to take a 68-53 lead into halftime. Sacramento had no answers. The Kings tried to fight back, but the Warriors maintained a 100-83 lead going into the fourth quarter, and by that point, the game was already over. There was never a moment where the outcome was in doubt. DeMar DeRozan did everything he could for Sacramento, dropping 34 points, but it wasn't enough. Domantas Sabonis came close to a triple-double, finishing with 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. But Golden State had too many weapons. Every time the Kings tried to make a run, the Warriors answered right back. One of the biggest reasons for Golden State's success in this game was their ability to take care of the ball. In their previous two matchups against the Kings, they had struggled with turnovers, committing 19 and 22 in those losses. This time, they cleaned it up and only turned it over 12 times. That was a huge difference. They had been making smarter decisions, keeping the ball moving, and not giving Sacramento easy opportunities. Another factor was their free throw shooting. The Warriors went 100% from the line in this game, and for them, that was a big deal. Free throw shooting had been a weakness at times throughout the season, so seeing them capitalize on every single opportunity at the stripe was a great sign. The way they had been playing at this point in the season had a lot of people talking. The vibes around the team were reminding everybody of the early win streak that had them near the top of the standings at the beginning of the year. They had struggled in the middle of the season, but they were starting to look like that team again. Butler had come in and completely changed the dynamic of this group. His ability to get to the free throw line, make plays for others, and bring a defensive edge had been exactly what they needed. The way he had fit into the system so seamlessly was unbelievable. It was like he had been playing with this team for years. His presence alone had been making everybody play better. The Warriors were playing like a completely different team. They weren't just winning, they were dominating. They had been outworking teams, executing on both ends, and getting contributions from everybody. This win over Sacramento was another statement that they were back and ready to make some noise in the playoff race. But then let's go one more game before that. The Warriors kicked off their 5-game winning streak with a tough but well-earned victory over the Rockets, taking this one 105-98. Steph Curry led the charge with 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Jimmy Butler, Brandon Podds, and Draymond Green all stepped up to help Golden State hold off Houston's late comeback attempt. This was a game where Golden State showed how much they had improved, proving they could handle adversity and close out a tight game when it mattered most. At the time, they had won 4 of 5 games since trading for Butler, and this put them 2 games over 500. This was a major shift from where they had been earlier in the season. They had struggled with inconsistency and had blown multiple leads in the past, but this time they kept their composure, made smart plays, and found a way to finish strong. This game had moments where it looked like Golden State would cruise to an easy win, but Houston refused to go away. The Warriors had led by as many as 24 points, completely controlling the first half and frustrating the Rockets with their defensive pressure. The energy was all on Golden State's side, and it seemed like they were on their way to a blowout win. Curry was locked in from the start. He finished with 27 points and hit some big shots down the stretch to help put the game away. He also added 5 rebounds and 3 assists, making an impact in multiple areas. His ability to create his own shot and keep the defense guessing was crucial in this win. Butler had another solid performance, finishing with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. He had been scoring at least 20 in every game since being traded to Golden State, and while he just missed that mark in this one, his impact was undeniable. His presence on both ends of the floor had completely changed the way this team played. He was bringing toughness, leadership, and a level of physicality that they had been missing earlier in the season. Podds put together another strong, all-around performance. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block. He was everywhere in this game, making key plays on both ends. His ability to play with energy and disrupt Houston's offense was a huge factor in Golden State's ability to build an early lead. His 4 steals helped set the tone for the Warriors' defensive effort, forcing the Rockets into tough possessions and keeping them out of rhythm. Draymond Green was doing a little bit of everything. He finished with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. His playmaking and defensive presence had been critical to Golden State's recent success. He was making smart passes, setting great screens, and locking in on defense, making sure Houston never got comfortable. Moses Moody played well too, contributing 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. He had been stepping up in a big way, especially on the defensive end. His ability to guard multiple positions and make hustle plays had been key for Golden State. He was making the most of his minutes, providing a reliable option off the bench. Golden State had full control of the game early on. They built a massive lead, playing with great energy on both ends. Houston was struggling, and the frustration was clear. Rockets head coach Iguodala had seen enough and decided to bench 3 of his starters, Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and Dillon Brooks, to start the fourth quarter. He wasn't happy with how they were playing, so he turned to the bench instead. That move nearly worked. The Rockets' backups came in and made things interesting, going on a 16-6 run that cut the Warriors' lead down to just 2 points. Houston's energy completely shifted, and suddenly, Golden State was in a battle. Nate Williams, who had barely played this season, stepped up for Houston during that run, scoring 7 points. He helped spark the comeback, and for a moment, it looked like the Rockets might pull off an upset. The momentum was on their side, and the Warriors needed to respond fast. Golden State had been in situations like this earlier in the season, where they had struggled to close out games, but this time, they stayed composed and took control when it mattered. They went on an 11-2 run of their own, pushing the lead back up to 11 points with about 2 minutes left. That was the dagger. During that final stretch, Curry had one of the biggest moments of the game. He completely shook Jeff Green with a nasty move before drilling a 3-pointer, sending the crowd into a frenzy. Not long after, Butler threw down a 2-handed dunk that had the Warriors bench fired up. Those plays sealed the win and showed exactly why Golden State had been so dangerous during this stretch. Houston never recovered after that final push. Aaron Holiday led them with 25 points, tying his career high, but it wasn't enough. The Rockets had lost 7 of their last 9 games at this point, and this loss had to sting. They had fought back, but just didn't have enough to finish the job. Golden State had been looking like a completely different team since Butler's arrival. At the time, they had won 4 of 5 games since the trade, and this put them 2 games over 500. That was a huge milestone for a team that had been struggling just weeks earlier. The chemistry was clicking, the confidence was growing, and they were proving they could handle tough moments without falling apart. Butler had been playing well in his first few games with the Warriors, and it was clear that he was only going to get more comfortable as time went on. His presence had already changed the way Golden State played, and his ability to make the right plays in key moments had been a game changer. Golden State wasn't just winning, they were finding different ways to win. Whether it was dominating early, surviving tough runs, or executing in crunch time, they were showing that they had the ability to win in any situation. This game was proof of that. They had blown a big lead, but instead of panicking, they locked in, made key plays, and got the job done. At the time, this win was the start of something special. It was the first of what would become a 5-game winning streak. Golden State was building momentum and proving they were a team to watch in the playoff race. The season had been a roller coaster, but they were back on track. And this win over Houston was a huge step in the right direction. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.